We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support here. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 12:15 p.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 150% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support here. In today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular and beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot at 9:25 a.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 50% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are at the SPY, the S&P 500 index, going from bright green bars to white with red borders. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, back under a bear indicator here at the 571.40 level. It tried getting above it multiple times here on the 30-minute time frame, and it rejected every single time it tried to get back towards 572. Now, we also see here a full transition from the rip area to the dip area, coming back down to a crucial area of support in the last several days and weeks. And if we go all the way back here to September 20th, it was sitting at around 566, 565 area. Bounced off of it nearly 3 times last week, and here we are touching it again, trying to get back above in the after hours at 568, something to not ignore. Now, when we go ahead and look at the QQQ, it is under a bear indicator as well, and if we look at Tesla here, same thing since the pre-market at the 250 level, and Apple, it was fighting into the open, rejected 225, and a bear indicator here at the 223 area. So we have multiple stocks here with bear indicators breaking through key support levels and retesting them. And if we go ahead and zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour on the SPY, a bear indicator popped up, canceling that bull indicator from 569, popping up at the 570 level. Now, when we zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here the chop, but a bear indicator dominating into the second half of the day, full transition from the rip area back down to the dip area after bouncing and finding support in the pre-market. Full transition up, full transition down, and here we are with a bear indicator at the 570.50 level. So something to not ignore here as we're testing key supports. We're going to pull up the inflow versus outflows and break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. Here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, with the SPY with outflows dominating in the pre-market and in the first half. This is one thing that was holding down the stock overall from going any higher and with any strength to the upside, is that these outflows were dominating. Now, interesting enough, there was a divergence here that it tried coming up towards the middle of the day, and it quickly flattened out and came right back down. Once those outflows crossed over, that's when the drop accelerated from 570.80 area, broke through the support of the open of 570.50, the pre-market support of 569.50, and it dropped all the way down towards 566.50 almost, right? And you could see here outflows hitting levels of negative 3.73 on the 30-minute, but sharply bouncing back up. Something to not ignore here going into tomorrow and the rest of these after hours is that it's green and inflows are trying to pick up here on the inflow versus outflow, but outflows are still dominating for as long as we're below the midpoint. Now, if we go ahead and zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could see here how inflows were trying to pick up and hold up in the first half, quickly started to drop, and once it actually crossed over, we had the huge drop here from 570 down to 566, and outflows are still below and sharply pointing downwards, right? Hitting negatives here so far of negative 3.3, and based off the history of the chart, it has room to go lower, right? Some of the highest outflows that we've seen in the last several days and weeks was negative 5.9, and then also negative 10, and also negative 9 area, right? So something to not ignore as it's sharply pointing downwards, and a full transition has not happened here on the SPY, right? It's gone from dark green, bright green to red, and the last piece missing for a full transition on the 1 hour chart would be white with red borders. So something I will be watching here closely in the bigger picture. Now, when we zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here the chop and quickly outflows dominating. So in this tight consolidation on the 15-minute chart, it was not pushing up any higher or justifying any of those moves for as long as these outflows continued red and below the midpoint. And if you go as far as the 5-minute into further volatility, you could see the chop here, outflows dominating for most of the day. Now, when we go back to the 15-minute, you could see the sharp drop pulling away from the midpoint when things accelerated. Full transition from the rip area to the dip area, and outflows hit negatives 4.8. Now, inflows are picking up again, and it's going to be crucial to cross the midpoint, because if it pulls back down, it could quickly start to reflect that weakness into these charts. And if it rolls that weakness over into the 30-minute or 1 hour, the first support I'll be watching is 565. Below that is 563. And then comes the 560 level. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to continue on the 15-minute, cross the midpoint, continue the staircase effect here forming so far, and retest key resistance levels, and roll the strength over into the 30-minute and 1 hour. And the first resistance is 570. Then above that is 572 to 573. And then I'll be watching the 575 area. So those are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them as they're trying to pick up here on the 30-minute, even on the 1 hour. Even though it's pointing downwards, we want to see this flatten out, switch from red to green, and in the volatility of the 15-minute, it is picking up sharply as well. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.